Real quick, going to do part two here of the Jeffery Lacasse. Going to learn more about relationships, helping men here. This is once again, he's the boyfriend of Wendy Adelson. Wendy Adelson was the ex-wife of Dan Markel, who was murdered in his driveway by two hitmen that had followed him home from the gym. That was set up by Wendy Adelson's mother and her brother through her brother's girlfriend, and who had her baby daddy and another friend. They were the hitmen. So Jeffery Lacasse has nothing to do with this, but he is Wendy's boyfriend at the time. They just broke up, I guess, a couple days before the murder. So he was the most current boyfriend. So, they're talking to everybody, and either he might know information or he could be the suspect, right? Because he could be mad at, Dan Markel because he's, maybe a scorned lover or something, whatever. But Jeffery Lacasse has nothing to do with it. He's totally innocent. He's come in to talk. This is his first interview with the police a couple days after the murder. And he's come in without a lawyer, which I do not recommend. Even though he has nothing to do with it, we're going to watch, we're, mainly going over relationship stuff here. But I'm going to take my relationship hat off and put on my police hat of my 22 years with the Houston Police Department. I was a supervisor for 13 of those years, rode the streets, rode gang division, worked with federal agencies such as FBI, DEA, stuff like that. So and I'm now retired, but lots of experience with police and law enforcement for 22 years. So anyway, when that part comes up, I'll just give you my information, my opinion on that. So this is all my opinions. Just my 50 years of living on this earth, dating lots of girls, having fun, learning about them, loving women, loving good relationship with women. They're amazing. I want to, give that to other men if I can, teach them, and absolutely love women. And also, if there's some type of police question, I can give you my opinion on that too. So, jack of all trades, master of none. All right, let's go. Let's learn something.
We're looking for viable leads. I mean, obviously, we pulled you in here today because of your relationship with her.
So real quick, police hat right now. So he's got no lawyer, and they pulled him in basically to see if he's a suspect. And you've gone in with no lawyer. Your lawyer would tell you to be quiet because you might say something dumb or whatever, and, they might start being suspicious of you, right? All they need is probable cause to put your butt in jail and charge you, right? Once you're charged, you're in the system. The government can come full bore now with all their resources, all their time, and that can be real expensive, number one. Or, the government can, these things can get out of hand fast. And he has nothing to do with it. And I'll show you how it starts getting out of hand for him. Not terribly, but you'll see. And luckily, he's got a good alibi.
Let me ask you this before I get laundry list of guys.
Yeah, it's only 3 or 4 actually, but go ahead.
Have you ever met the victim?
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm a police hat. That's a question he wants to know. So he's gonna now the police officer it's up for interpretation, but he's gonna watch how he answers this, right? And he wants to see if he's mad, angry. But even if you're too happy, oh, he was too happy now, So, and it's gonna be up to the police's judgment to think is he lying? So he wants to see how he's gonna answer this. He wants to see if have you had contact with the victim in the murder? And so he's going to see how he answers this.
Did you know him?
I spent 20 hours with Danny over a 9-month period in various children's functions.
Okay.
When did you meet the victim?
I met the victim on January 12th, 2014. Buddy and I went to a comedy show at the Bradfordville Blues Club, and they had to switch the kids off, and he was late and I was early.
Now watch this.
Awkward.
Pretty awkward, yeah.
He's watching all his, and it's up. They could gaslight you and be like, and it's going to say, sometimes, people can read your body language and it'd be wrong. You were nervous. Jeffery Lacasse here is emotional because he really loved Wendy and he's breaking up with her. So he's giving off a lot of emotion, nervousness, tension. That could be seen as guilt. That's why your lawyer would tell you to shut up. But he actually helps this case out. Jeffery Lacasse is a badass dude. I like him. But I'm just saying, this is why you bring a lawyer with you, because your lawyer knows how you look. The lawyer would know, hey, you're getting too close to the fire. You know what I'm saying?
He feared him.
How do you remember that date? I mean, that,
Boom, right there.
boom.
The cop got suspicious right there. How do you remember the actual date? And you ripped it off real fast, buddy. That's a sign of suspicion. Now, Jeffrey Lacasse is going to have a good alibi, but he's going to have to go get that information, right? It's going to take about a week, couple days. He has a receipt of him getting a flat tire and being, in like Tennessee when the murder's going on, But still could mean he was involved with the conspiracy, right? But this guy's very suspicious that he knows that date so fast. The reason that he is Jeffrey Lacasse was in love, and he's been, ruminating over, when did we meet? When did I, So that could look like guilt of a murder. It could, if they read it wrong. This is why you bring an attorney.
Because I was going through my calendar about a week ago trying to figure out how much shit she was pulling over the last 6 months. So it's just
And right there, he's
how.
mad at Wendy. Again, my police hat's on. He's mad at Wendy. How much shit she was pulling over is what he said. He's mad. So would he be mad enough to kill somebody? Again, bring your attorney.
I was trying to get a sense of...
Anytime you talk, and this is what's called a consensual interview. He can stop this interview at any time, okay? The police won't tell you it's a consensual interview, but if you're not under arrest, if you're not in handcuffs, and they haven't read your Miranda warning, you got the right to remain silent, you have a right to an attorney, if you can't afford an attorney, it won't be appointed for you, prior to and during any questioning, you have a right to terminate this interview at any time. Do you understand that? If they don't read you those rights, that means you're involved in a consensual interview, or if you're under arrest and they haven't read you those rights, everything you say after that, it's inadmissible. So, so you're good. But now, do they have to say, sir, we are consenting, you are consenting to talk to us, and I'm just letting you know you've consented, and you've consented to have no attorney, and no, they don't have to tell you that. In case law, you can go look this up just to make sure, because I'm not a lawyer, I'm just, retired policeman, so, but anyway, so, were you in handcuffs? No. Was the door locked? No. Did you feel like you could leave? Well, you say no, right? Did they prevent you from leaving? No, they didn't. Did they ask you questions? Were you willing to ask questions? Yes. So that's all consent, right? You gave consent. They didn't hold you. Did they hold you down anytime? Did they tell you couldn't leave? Was the door unlocked? Were you in a jail cell? No, it's in a room with, guys in plain clothes and, but, you could also say, well, they had badges and guns. I didn't feel like I could leave. Still, the fact that, a lot of times, especially something like this, just to be sure, you'll say, hey, if and oftentimes people won't leave, but you say, hey, if you get uncomfortable at any point, we can stop the interview or something like that. That way you can get the consent in. But anyway, sometimes police will do that, but they don't have to.
I'm trying to get a sense of how much time is Wendy away from me, so I look through my calendar, but I'm pretty good with names and dates and times and stuff.
Wow, really looking at a lot of information. Looking suspicious. Again, your lawyer would tell you to shut up.
Yeah, it sounds kind of creepy.
See, he even said it sounds kind of creepy. Could be a murderer. I mean, look how much. Even though your lawyer would be like, shut up. That's why your lawyer tells you to be quiet.
I mean, it's like a stalker.
See?
So you met him there on the 29th?
Yeah.
And you said you met him at some various children's functions?
Well, when he was afraid of Danny, when he would almost have a panic attack in front of Danny, which always made me... And Wendy's pretty closed off. She doesn't disclose information easily.
See? Wendy does not disclose information easily. She's closed off because Wendy knows, like a good lawyer, if you shut your mouth and you hold onto information and you give less information, you are more in control. So the less information you give, the more power you have in the situation because people don't know how to read you. They don't know how to approach you. So less information, the more. Just like, let's say, dating apps. I'm going to give a dating advice. That's why women, they might put on their profile, ask me. That's a woman who is looking for dominance and control because you have no information on her. So you don't know if she wants to go out. You don't know, what she's about. You have nothing. You have nothing to go on. What are you here for? Are you looking to get married? Are you looking for a long-term relationship? Are you looking for casual sex? You have no idea. She just says, "Ask me." So that's a woman who's looking to be in control. The women who give less information are looking for dominance. Just like a lawyer would tell you, just be quiet. Wendy's a lawyer. She doesn't give people information, so they don't know how to approach her.
To beat her ass. I mean, I didn't know, but it seemed out of proportion for a guy who's just kind of a general dickhead,
It was.
It makes sense. She was so.
It was. She was gaslighting you to make it seem like he was a monster, and you bought it.
Stuff. So every time the kids had to go sing at some, sing on the Capitol steps.
Called manipulation.
I would go to kind of be an interference.
You were manipulated.
Not that many times, maybe 6 to 10 times, but whenever it was, when I wasn't working, I was able to, I did that. So Daddy and I were close to each other, probably for 20 hours over time. We were friendly to each other. He was nice. He was condescending, but nice.
Have you ever been to his residence?
See?
I've driven past it with Wendy because I just got some shortcut through Lawrence.
I mean, you see how they're kind of treating him as a suspect, and you have no attorney? Don't ever do this, guys. Even if you didn't, doesn't matter. It's how they're reading it. No one wants to spend time in jail. It's okay to have an attorney. Yeah. And they won't hold it against you. They can try, but get you an attorney. But if you're going to talk to the police on a serious case like this, I mean, if you're giving information on a little fender bender, okay. But, if you're being called in on a murder charge and they're trying to clear you as a suspect, you get an attorney.
So I've never stopped.
Yeah, drove by numerous times, never stopped. Except that one time you killed Dan Markel. No, he didn't. He's totally innocent. Jeff didn't do anything. Jeff's an awesome dude.
All right. Can you tell me where you were,
See?
up to and immediately after Friday?
Yeah, so Thursday night, I was very upset about all this. I was going up to Tennessee on Friday or Saturday. I had big plans. Called my friends, and they're really upset. I said, get in your car and drive. So Thursday at...
And he's upset? See how they could read this? He was upset, and he's maybe he conspired to do this. Maybe he would,
7-ish.
I mean, as a cop, as a former cop, retired, my ears would be going up.
To get to 75. I drove halfway to Tennessee, stayed in the suburb of Atlanta Thursday night. Friday I drove to Tennessee, Harrogate, Tennessee.
I mean, did you head out of town? Did you do it and head out of town to make it look like you were out of town?
So when you drove, what'd you drive? Your vehicle?
My car, 2001.
Yeah, they're trying to see because they want. Look, right now they're considering him as a suspect, and you don't. I mean, I won't keep harping on this, guys, but you gotta have a lawyer.
Okay.
Look how quickly this could all fall apart on you.
And you said you stopped in the suburb of Atlanta? Where was that?
Can't remember. I stayed at a really crappy Days Inn, maybe 20 miles south of Atlanta.
I mean, you are a suspect in a murder right now, basically. That's why he's asking these questions.
20 miles south of Atlanta.
And a lot of people think, well, I have nothing to hide, so doesn't matter. A lawyer will know what question to answer, how to answer them, when the police are overstepping their bounds. He'll know, hey, this guy's asking these questions because he thinks you're a suspect. He'll know when to back the cop off or whatever. He'll know to say, hey, are we free to go? Because I need to get my client out. He knows to ask that. A lot of people don't even know to ask that. Just ask, hey, am I under arrest? Okay, am I free to go? Okay, I'm going to head out. I don't want to keep talking.
I could pull the credit card receipt through. I need to know.
Pay with a credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wants the
Use my
info.
credit card on the whole trip. And I stayed with a very close friend up there and his wife. So I stayed at their house.
Okay. Okay. So let me get a timeline.
Yeah.
So Thursday you started driving.
He wants to make sure you weren't here to kill somebody.
You drove up to roughly Atlanta.
Yeah, about 11:30 I pulled over. Yeah, it's getting tired.
All right. What time did you get up and leave?
Oh, I left at 9 a.m. I couldn't sleep that night. I was upset about Wendy. So I was up watching TV.
Pretty
up to
upset.
8:30, and got up at 8:15 and I took a shower, got out of there at 9.
Time did you check out? 9.
And check out. Just all this crap you put back on hotels. Just got to
He's so honest.
By
It's one of the characters. He's like down to earth, but he's a PhD, you know?
I gave him my friend's name if that helps, because he was stayed in his house with his wife.
Sure.
Now, I will say, as my law enforcement hat, the way he's answering stuff, how quickly he's answering it, how he's not stuttering, it's rolling off. There is a, you know, the truth has a ring to it. He's not nervous. Now, some good liars can do that sometimes, but I'm just saying my initial impression would be not lying, because, I mean, he's letting it roll. He's giving a lot of info. He's giving a lot of details. You know where he was. He doesn't, because this is how the truth, he's answering the questions right away. You know, this is how the truth sounds.
Leo, Elio. He's a professor.
He's got
You have a
witnesses.
contact number for him? Just
Social media. That's
That's the offer to get it. You know, yeah, please call
Tries
us.
to dean of students.
This is how the truth sounds.
Leo, 865-278.
Gonna move forward a little bit,
Which,
2:30.
yeah,
All right.
because he's just getting details.
give you their stuff in your house.
Move it a little bit.
Earlier this morning, and you said straight in.
Just got her.
Straight in from there. Let's go back a minute.
Yeah.
Talk about, you told me about this, Miho.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a suspect to me, but I'm just thinking if you want to know
See, now he's listening. You know,
men that Wendy has spent time with that suspect there's some romantic connection, maybe a paranoid boyfriend, maybe not, I don't know, but stayed with her for a week, or stayed in Miami for a week across Christmas break, and she saw him in a conference together. Seems very unlikely to me. Miguel, I don't know if you know the name Miguel, her ex-boyfriend.
Miguel, that was an alpha
Yeah,
bang
most
guy.
people are like, they're not thugs, so it'd be pretty strange, but I don't know Miguel's last name. He's like a corporate guy at Exxon.
They can hire thugs.
He hates Danny, but so did everybody. So you could verify.
Yeah,
by
'cause
phone
she-
text messages from Miguel saying, "Screw that guy, I hate that guy." You know.
Yeah, but she manipulated
I think
people.
Exxon. He's in DC.
She up to DC a lot.
No, he just moved there.
She went her.
Yeah. No, she doesn't go to DC a lot. But he did. She did him till like June. And he was in New Orleans for the year previous, so she worked in New Orleans a lot.
Miguel.
What'd
That
you
was
do
one of her
in
F boys.
Now this is June 2013.
Miguel, Daniel Sack, and Jeff. Three in a rotation.
13.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so like June 2012 or June 2013.
Minimum.
Or Miguel or which she.
I always say 1 to
This is why
3.
You talk about the men thing. I don't think you can ask Wendy who you see and expect a straight answer.
Right there. Yeah, you can't. And Malcolm X has you know, and I'm going to do a video on Malcolm X. I love him, his autobiography, and he has a quote that says, you never ask a woman about men because either 1, she'll lie and you won't know, or 2, she'll tell you the truth and you wouldn't want to hear the truth anyway. So Malcolm X says that. So just don't ask him about, that's what he's saying here. You're not going to get a straight story on the men she's dating. That, and what do I say? This is what I say once again, corroborating my knowledge. Women's private sexual lives are private, and they only let out the information, and I think that's good. But we get to see behind the curtain a little bit here, you know, her little rotation. But you'll never know how many guys she's screwing. So don't worry about body count.
Between you and I, she got asked a deposition about Miguel, a divorce deposition, like, do you Are you seeing anybody? They're negotiating custody. She just lied to deposition. Nobody knew about it. So she just said, no, I'm not seeing anyone. She was seeing a gal for a year.
When was
Straight
this
lie.
I don't know.
How do you know she don't like us?
She told me she did. It's hearsay.
Straight lie.
Not didn't seem to be blinking an eye. I said, how did you handle that issue in custody? Because you're seeing Miguel, you're negotiating custody, and it's a thing, right? And she said, oh, nobody knew about Miguel, so I decided to boyfriend.
Exactly. There you go.
So,
Deny. That's why you can't ask women. You know, you got to go on what you know. You're not gonna. Women are great at hiding, and that's good. I'm not going hard on them. They should. It should be private, but they have no qualms in lying for their own benefit. Yeah, she's beautiful though, but she's a liar.
I'm sure that deposition's available to you. And
Go by their
fight
actions.
about Daniel Sack, she wiped her phone of every message about Sack. That's nothing to do with this, I don't think. So if I snooped, I wouldn't find anything.
Right.
Wipes her phone of messages. See? And she tries to act all innocent. Yep. Of the dude she's been banging. She's been doing this her whole life, man. This is what women do,
Given
though.
the pattern of behavior, I just want to be sure. There's a guy in South Florida. There's another guy I don't even know about in town. I just want to blow my mind, you know. I mean, Wendy, she's a clinical instructor at the law school. She teaches 2 days a week from 12 to 2, 10 to 2, something like that. And she has tasks to do. She works.
She has a lot of time. She has a lot of time to bang.
Flexibility in her schedule. From
There
9
you
to
go.
5, I wouldn't know what she was doing most days, you know. So,
A lot of time to bang.
That could have been obsessed with her. That she may have vented her frustration about Daniel to.
Oh yeah.
you mean Markel, right? Danny Markel.
Yes.
Yes. I wonder about, I'm just speculating, this last trip in South Florida, this is really strange to me. We have a huge fight, and she's a very fragile person. I'm going to hold him.
She's not fragile. It's performative. It's performative.
A very unhealthy relationship. She really can't do life very well. It's kind of sad. And she gets by being really attractive and all this kind of stuff, but day-to-day life, she's independent. She needs a whole lot now. So we had that huge fight. It was pretty devastating, or completely devastating.
No, that was performative. She doesn't care enough about you.
So she goes to South Florida for 15 days, 14 days. With that on her mind, comes back, cuts out contact with me, and then this happens. It's just real strange.
Yep.
Real strange. So I don't know.
Ain't that a bitch, huh?
Something I wanted to.
Cuts all contact, goes to South Florida where her parents live. Her mom's the one that set this up. So 2 weeks before the murder, she's in South Florida with her mom, who's setting this up with her brother. And then she comes back and a murder happens. You don't think she knew? She knew.
I want to know if I'm more concerned about my safety with what I'm going to tell you, to be honest. So how do we do that? Because it's just speculation, but Danny Markel just got fucking killed, and I don't want to be next. I'm sorry if that sounds paranoid, but
No, that's very
I
good.
do have some ideas.
Do you think there's some kind of correlation between Danny Markel and you that would make you an intended target of something?
I think there's two theories here. When I heard the news, I thought three things. First, I thought Markel killed himself to try to punish Wendy for 2 years. This is the ultimate punishment. He's a narcissist, all that. I see you guys eliminated that. I haven't read the paper. There's a suicide. Second thing was what you're talking about. Love triangle, that kind of thing. Third thing, some family members. They're pretty protective of her. And want her to work themselves.
There you go. He's on the ball.
And that, I'm not talking about some assurances, because there's some creepy stuff there. I don't know if there's anything to it. You guys could discover there's a meth head they killed him tomorrow. I get that. But there's some stuff on the family that...
But here's the thing, Jeff. I mean, we're outsiders looking in.
Yeah.
So any kind of insider perspective that you would have being on the inside, I'm welcome to hear.
Yeah.
And will entertain.
I know you're entertaining, but I don't want to... I can't have this attributed to me.
That's why you need an attorney, Jeff. I'm just saying, you can't, and again, guys, you can't, and again, let's talk about just you or me that were there. You can't, the police are not on your side. They're on the side of getting the guy arrested, whatever. But you just get an attorney, he'll fight for you. Don't do this alone. Don't do this stuff alone. He's wanting to do a handshake.
Right.
Do some end around. You have to put me under oath. Whatever you have to do. I want to help you guys find whoever did this. This is terrible. I didn't like Danny. We no one deserves this, you know? On the other hand, if my theory was right, I would be, I sound paranoid, but. So how do we handle that? You said give us up to the director, and how do you do that?
Let's wait till then, we'll get to that.
So I guess another thing I would say is just generally, the family.
Yeah, he's on the ball. He knows it.
South Florida.
When you say the family, are you meaning mom and dad and grandma and grandpa?
Mom's been convicted life in prison. Brother's been convicted life in prison. Yeah, he's on the. He knew it.
A family.
People that live in South Florida, yeah, mother, father.
Yep,
And
he knew it.
brother. So the 3 people down in South
Guys.
Florida that,
What's your brother's name?
Men have good intuition. Trust your intuition when dealing with girls too. If you think they're cheating, they probably are. Talk to a trusted friend. Run the details by them. Don't be dumb. Pull the wool over your eyes. Don't go snooping either, because I'll just piss you off and make you not ever be able to forget stuff you see. Okay? I'm just telling you, don't. Because if you think it's happening, it's happening. But get a trusted friend who can be honest with you and give them the honest details. You're never going to find a girl probably having sex in front of your face. So if some guys are that dumb and think they need that, right? But just like him, if she's hanging out with dudes and not telling you, that's enough.
he's a dentist.
And again, I'm not the lead investigator on this, so I don't know all of the players
Yeah.
as it relates. I didn't interview Wendy,
Gotcha.
so I'm kind of putting some of this together myself.
I got you.
As well, we're running concurrent investigation down different paths.
Of course.
Do you know if she's got any other family besides her mom and dad and her brother?
She has an older brother that lives in Albany, New York. They don't have a good relationship.
He's a doctor.
I can't imagine he'd be involved. He's an
No.
orthopedic surgeon. It wouldn't make any sense.
No, you see, Jeff's on the money.
What's his name?
Rob.
Rob, yeah, he had nothing to do with it.
He's estranged from the family, basically.
Yeah.
He was there for 2 of the 14 days.
Because they're nuts.
The visit went really bad. He was really rude to the family.
Because they didn't like the fact that he was in love with a woman that wasn't Jewish. So he dumped a woman that wasn't
When
Jewish
he's attractive enough that it's not going to be
to
shocking
get mom's approval.
to me.
And he dated a Jewish girl, and he realized who he really loved, and the family disowned him when he decided to marry a girl that wasn't Jewish and who he really loved, and he's still married to her. And so Rob disowned the family at that time.
And I get to see someone doing something crazy.
The heart wants what it
I
wants.
can't see her doing is asking, saying, hey, you know what I mean? But I don't know Wendy that well, as it turns out. Anyhow, I sponge on her second. As far as that, she never took me to South Florida with her even once.
Yeah.
She did once, but we spent one day down there with her brother. But she's been there, looked at the calendar.
That's not normal. If she really dug you, see all this stuff, she's just showing disrespect, just showing lack of interest. A woman wants to be with you, wants to show you off to everybody when you're her number one. Otherwise, you're just an F-boy with her.
She was there.
Or a
for
utility
King,
to be
she was there
used.
for Father's Day, she was there.
Jeff thought he was a lot more. You can tell
What did you think of her brother?
you can tell the imbalance, and the imbalance should always go in favor of you, because a woman always has to believe you're her champion and you're her Superman. Because look she has lots of options, but women want the best option, and if you're not seen as her best option, just another option, then you're going to lose. Now, men, if a woman sees us as their best option, they'll treat us different. So by that genuine desire of treatment, we'll also gain desire. It just works that way. A man can't treat his woman as Superwoman and be respected. So if you're not being treated like this, like Jeff is, being left around, and a woman doesn't want to go a day without you if she doesn't have to, that one that really digs you and loves you. And those that will disagree with me, just haven't ever experienced this. Because if you've experienced it, you know. The men who experience know I'm right, and the women who have experienced know I'm right. But there's a lot of unhappy people out there that'll say I'm wrong because they have never dated that person, and that's okay. They don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Her brother is an unusual guy. Not much empathy.
Sociopath.
He's a dentist and he's very wealthy. But he kind of hangs out with people from both sides of the tracks. And, you know,
He's on the money.
Boating in South Beach with his rich buddies, and he also goes to his gym with some other kinds of characters, kind of thing. So,
Less savory individuals.
I think so. Yeah, he's got a buddy who was special forces.
Okay. You talked about a couple of guys. You talked about Miguel
Yeah.
and the Patel.
Miguel?
You said there was 3 or 4 total.
I'm just trying to think.
Miguel was definitely banging Wendy. He was in her rotation. Daniel Sack, definitely. Jeff has talked about him. Jeff was, that's 3. Patel, no. Patel was just a loving stalker. But this is why you got to be her champion, or she's got to believe you're her champion, because look at the options she has.
That might be it, actually. But yeah, Daniel, that was 3. Daniel Sack. Can't imagine any of those people had anything to do with this, but
And they didn't.
those people that were.
He's on the money with her brother.
Sexual relationship. Miguel and but who will definitely really into Wendy, obviously.
Okay. And you said that you've never been to Danny's house.
No,
Do a little bit longer, and then I'll do a part 3 because
You've never had
It'll
any
get
kind
too
of
long.
physical contact with Danny.
no. I'm surprised you guys didn't call me earlier though, because I probably said 100 times in public that I like to kick his ass.
because she manipulated you.
Wendy suffer and things like that.
Right.
But no, I would never.
Never believe women's stories offhand. Never do that. Never do that. Verify. Trust, but verify. And don't simp out believing a woman's story without even having any verification of actions. Action speaks louder than words. Women lie all the time about their prior relationships.
That's
And that's just, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going hard on women. I love them.
Okay. I mean, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to give us a sample of your DNA on your consent
100%.
for elimination purposes?
I'm just saying.
I don't even know if the lead investigator wants.
Exactly. But again, he didn't have an attorney to do it. I mean, and he didn't have anything to do with it, but a lot of times people believe in the system too much. And, oh, if I have nothing to hide, then I'll, no. They're getting your DNA. They're considering you a suspect, you know. What if they drop that, you know, do it to O.J. Simpson and drop it everywhere? No, get an attorney. But anyway, he didn't do it. He's not charged.
I'll do it. I'm not going to it.
I'm just
If
seeing.
they had credit cards, I mean, I'm not involved. It's obvious, so I'll do whatever you want.
Again, that's how he's always, and again, that is the attitude to have to a certain degree. But how fast these things, he has the notion, and it's good to have a belief in the legitimacy of law enforcement, and we have great law enforcement, we do. But a small mistake could cost you deeply. It's just so simple to have an attorney on something this big, guys, especially.
Let me go see if I can talk about this off the record.
All right, I'm gonna leave this here, and we'll do a part 3.
To handle that.
Okay.